So let's quickly talk about the introduction into Habakkuk. Habakkuk teaches us principles of God's sovereignty over nations. Habakkuk asks God why he allowed injustice to prevail in Judah. God replied that he would use the Chaldeans, aka the Babylonians, to punish Judah. Habakkuk responded that allowing the wicked Chaldeans to triumph over God's chosen people was even worse. God then explained that the Chaldeans would in turn be punished for the arrogance and enjoyment they would display while carrying out God's sentence. God can use a wicked nation to achieve his purposes. God can then bring down the nations he raised up if they do not acknowledge and honor him. Habakkuk teaches us principles of God's justice and mercy. God does indeed oppose injustice and promote justice. In some situations, it does not take place in the time frame we would prefer. Where are those people? In some situations, it does not take place in the time we prefer. But ultimately, in this life or in eternity, God's justice will prevail, and the wicked will be punished, and the righteous vindicated, and the righteous vindicated. Of course, we know that no one is righteous in God's sight except for those who have received the gift of God's righteousness bestowed by faith in his Son, Jesus Christ. Then another thing Habakkuk teaches us, he teaches us the principles to live by. In the end, Habakkuk may not have understood everything about God, but he trusted that God will do the right thing. He stood in awe of God and proclaimed that when all else fails, he would still rejoice in God, and God affirmed that the righteous one will live by his faith. So this is the introduction into the book of Habakkuk, and now let's dive into that book. We are reading chapter 2. We've read chapter 1 in, I think, on January 16. Was it January 16? Oh, that was Zephaniah. So unfortunately, we are not reading chapter 1. It's possible that I've missed chapter 1 because I've missed a lot of chapter of the day. So, but let's dive into chapter 2. You may want to read chapter 1 by yourself. So let's go on your market set. Let us. Habakkuk chapter 2. Take a look. It's stuck together. When last did you open the book of Habakkuk? Please bear in mind that today's memory verse is taken from the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14. And I want to ask you, when last did you open the book of Habakkuk? You can see that mine were actually stuck together. I couldn't even get through. Can you imagine? Look at, that's to show you when last this book has been opened. My goodness, it is practically, in fact, the 4 pages here are just stuck together. My gosh, including the first page of Zephaniah. And I still read Zephaniah chapter 1. Yeah, on January 16. Oh, that's why I love to date them sometimes. Okay, so Habakkuk chapter 2. That's where we are reading today. So open your book and let's see what is going on here. Habakkuk waits for God's presence. So Habakkuk is human being. Take that in mind. Bear that in mind, okay? I will stand at my guard post and station myself on the lookout tower. I will watch to see what he will say to me. Let me start again. Habakkuk waits for God's presence. When last did you wait for God's presence? Like you're seeking the presence of God. Is there any best place to go to seek the presence of God? I think you can do that anywhere you find yourself. Habakkuk waits for God's presence. I will stand at the guard post and station myself on the lookout tower. I will watch to see what he will say to me and what I should reply about my complaint. God's second answer, verse 2. The Lord answered me, write down this vision, clearly describe it on tablet. So then, it was on tablet they write, not on books like now, like us, they write on tablet. So I hope you are not noting down your point. So clearly inscribe it on tablet. So on tablet you inscribe, on book you write. So one may easily read. Wow. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. So the vision is not now, it's for later, just like now. So he wrote all this for us to read now, right? It testifies about the end and will not lie. Another year, it will not lie. It's testifying about the end, and that's where we are now, the end time. Okay, let's read on. Let me see how many verses we have. Okay, not too much. 20 verses, all right? It testifies about the end and will not lie. Though it delays, wait for it. Wow. Wow, that's another great point. Since it will certainly come and not be late. Wow. So even though it may be late, like we see it, that it's too late to come to pass, but you certainly come. And the Bible established that it will not be late. So to us, it is late. Wow. Since it will certainly come and not be late. Wow. Look, his ego is inflated. He is without integrity. But the righteous one will live by his faith. Moreover, wine betrays. An arrogant man is never at rest. He enlarges his appetite like Sheol. Like Sheol. He enlarges his appetite like Sheol. He likes death. He is never satisfied. He gathers all the nations to himself. He collects all the peoples for himself. Wow. The five woe oracles. Verse 6. Won't all this take up a taunt against him? With mockery and riddles about him, they will say, woe to him who amasses what is not his. How much longer? And loads himself with goods taken in pledge. Won't your creditors suddenly arise and those who disturb you wake up? Then you will become spoil for them. Since you have plundered many nations, all the people who remain will plunder you. Because of human bloodshed and violence against land cities and all who live in them. Woe to him who dishonestly makes wealth for his house, to place his nest on high, to escape the grasp of disaster. You have planned shame for your house by wiping out many peoples and sinning against your own self. For the stones will cry out from the wall, and the rifters will answer them from the woodwork. Woe to him who built Woe to him who builds a city with bloodshed and founds a town with injustice. Is it not from the Lord of armies that the peoples labor only to fuel the fire and countries exhaust themselves for nothing? For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord's glory, and the water covers the seas. Covers the sea. Woe to him who gives his neighbors drink, pouring out your wrath and even making them drunk. Wow. In order to look at their nakedness, you will be filled with disgrace instead of glory. You also drink. Expose your uncircumcision. The cup in the Lord's right hand will come around you, and utter disgrace will cover your glory. For your violence against Lebanon will overwhelm you. The destruction of animals will terrify you because of your human bloodshed and violence against ants, cities, and all who live in them. What use is a carved idol after its craftsman carves it? It is only a cast image, a teacher of lies. For the one who crafts his shape trusts in it and makes idols that cannot speak. Woe to him who says to wood, wake up, or to mute stone, come alive. Can he teach? Look, it may be plated with gold and silver, yet there is no breath in it at all. But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let the whole earth be silent in his presence. Hallelujah. Now, saved by faith will be the next thing we're going to read, and that is going to buttress this whole point. So I hope to see you in my next video, because I don't want this video to be too lengthy. What do you learn here? There are so many points that I believe we all have been able to pick. And for those who says Bible is written, so I cannot believe in the Bible, human beings wrote Bible, or you were expecting God, the Spirit himself, to come down and write. He sends people to write. And some people said Bible will be rewritten again because those prophets are just writing what God had given us manual. He's not rewriting anything again. He is only gonna buttress all these points till eternity. Anybody can write anything and call it his own Bible, but all this Bible can never be replaced. And we are meant to have them at the back of our mind, and that's it. So I have picked a lot from here, and I hope you have too.